It's a little article or a situation that I've been thinking about for a while. I hear both sides of things on the net. Young Venezuelans turn to adult content to survive crisis. Crisis is actually there. It's just cut off the way I'm recording the screen. It's talking about OnlyFans. I'm sure you've probably seen some videos. You probably have some thoughts about it. I got a couple threads here. Check these out. These are from last year. Creators expect 50% of women under 30 to join by 2030. And I talked about this in brief a couple months ago, as in 50% of women under 30 will be selling nudes, photos, and videos online for money. How does this make you feel for the younger generation? You know, the old turd like me, the old boring guy is going to be like, I don't understand what these kids are doing. Absolutely believable. Dudes will pay for anything. It's sad. I don't blame the women, though. If these guys are willing to open their wallets that wide for some of the stuff I've been sold on there, I say take the money. It beats waitressing. Wait, did he just say some of the stuff I've been sold on there? So this individual's on there? This is it here. I mean, if men will pay, then why give it away for free? And you don't even need to leave your bedroom or home to earn more than a lawyer. The anti-simp movement will grow and cut off their income supply. Bitches ain't fruit, but hoes and tricks. Oh my goodness. I have a mate pays for this type of stuff, and he sent me some photos, and they were absolutely effing lifting. He showed me his favorite, and she was taking a photo of herself with the front camera on the phone with a mirror behind her, and she had a pretty face, but a horrible saggy fat ass that looked like her hamstrings, glutes, and lower back had all melted and merged together. What is wrong with people these days? Gotta love it. Young women's bodies are atrophying badly because of the modern sedentary lifestyle. Men too, but women especially. Their A's look like soggy waffles, spread the word. Educate the younger generation of men. Obviously, you can see where this forum's going. No simps. This is funny. I love it. Where there is service, there will be a buyers/market. If women sell their bodies, there will be men buying. Lick these. Okay. All right. Let's go away from this. Let's go to one more thread here I found on Yahoo. OnlyFans and wife. In response to the rough times, my wife started doing OnlyFans. And this was 10 months ago when I saved this. So this would have put us back, say, March-ish, April of 2020. Due to the rough times, I guess that started pretty quickly. It was from zero to boom, just like that, because lockdowns had barely begun around this time, where she uploads naughty pictures of herself for a monthly subscription. I feel as if we have the necessary funds where I don't need her to do this. And is it just me, or should there not be nudes of my wife anywhere? Looking to hear your opinion. Should there be not? My man, if you need to ask if this is right, I think, call this guy crazy. Call him the patriarchic, sexist degrader of women he is. How dare she not be able to make her own money with her own vag? How dare his wife not be able to put nude photos of herself out there? And how dare he question it? How dare he? Too old-fashioned. The two of you should agree on this. If you do both decide to do the pics, it shouldn't be a big deal. In addition to the money, she probably finds the attention flattering. If you both decide to do the pics are already out there, my man. Can I see them before I answer? There it is. Shaking my head, I hope you do not have any kids with her. It's going to suck when you have to explain to them why their mother is a loser. I can only imagine what she has done in her past. Okay, this is serious. But what is her OnlyFans account name so I could donate to her and see her naughty pictures? This is why you come to the internet for stuff like this. What's her name? I want to look. There it is. The word respect is defined as the way a person thinks and treats something or someone, including themselves. We live in a society that we allow to dictate and develop our morals, our viewpoints on matters, and our principles in life. Society tells men and women to get rid of respect, and in a lot of areas, and replace it with disrespect, which is just the opposite of respect. Now, in this case, your wife has chosen to wear provocative lingerie or to take nude photos of herself and place them on a website for a price. Would you say that her actions towards herself, you, and her marriage is respectful or disrespectful? P.S. Some people take advantage of a bad situation to reveal and practice what was already inside of their heart, and they just need something to justify it. Actions speak louder than words. I don't think she should do it. There you go. So this was a bit before the 50% thing came out with OnlyFans. A lot of people here saying, nah, who'd really want their lady to do it unless the individual male or female, whoever they're dating, also doesn't respect themselves. But the allure of the money and situations vary. That brings me back to the article about Venezuela that I showed you. So let's give this a quick read and see what the young ladies are up to there. Like many other young Venezuelans, Valery Lopez has found a way to survive the South American country's crippling economic crisis. Now keep in mind, this was a month ago this article came out. Through online spicy content, Lopez, 20, loves her body, and by exposing it online, she has found a way to avoid joining the exodus of 5 million migrants the UN has said have left the country since 2015. I was desperate to go because I wasn't living well. Now I want to stay in Venezuela, thanks to OnlyFans, Lopez told AFP. OnlyFans began as an online platform meant for celebrities and influencers, but has morphed into a hub for adult content. Launched in Britain in 2016, OnlyFans is a subscription service that pays 80% commission to its content creators. Great business model for OnlyFans, right? It's like so many things. It's just a way to connect supply with demand and kick back and collect a little money. So I'll give credit to those people who founded this thing. For Lopez, that was an attractive potential source of income. I can pay for my teeth and buy clothes, she said, referring to dental work. Who else is earning $500 or $1,000 a month right now? No one. Venezuela has the world's highest inflation levels. It has been in recession for 7 years and has regular shortages of basic necessities such as food and medicine. Lopez's channel has more than 50 subscribers, mostly foreigners. Shocker, because Venezuela is having issues, right? So it makes more sense that the money's coming from outside the country. Each one pays $10 a month, a figure 6 times the minimum salary in Venezuela, where the currency is constantly depreciating. So as I said, it's at least $500 a month. She's getting it. It's a point highlighted by psychologist Abel Sarabia, who is also the coordinator of a non-governmental group focusing on the rights of children and teenagers. In other countries where there isn't a humanitarian emergency, there has been an increase in consumption on platforms such as OnlyFans, said Sarabia. In countries where there isn't a humanitarian emergency, so Western nations, first world nations, consumption, right? So connecting supply and demand. But in our context, we can give them an extra dimension. To what extent would somebody adopt such a risky line of work if they had other work options, mistaken for a child? For Lopez, everything began with a totally naked photo on Instagram that generated so much interest that she had realized there was a business opportunity. Totally naked photo on Instagram. So I guess Instagram allows those kind of things. You know, she was testing the waters. Her boyfriend of 3 years, Roberto Gonzalez, an architect, helped her set up her OnlyFans account. So he is her pimp. The truth is, I like it. Posing for adult content, and I like the money more. It's a good combination, Lopez said. I wonder how long and how many subs and how big she's going to have to get before she leaves this guy in the dust. Often, though, her fans think she's underage. That's probably why she has the subscribers. So she might want to keep that secret on the DL for the kinks out there. She shouldn't be putting her name out there. Oh, what girl? You're 20? Oh, well, I thought you were 15. Oh, I'm out of here. They think I'm a girl. They think I'm lying, chuckled the green-eyed Lopez, who stands just 1.5 meters tall, about 5 feet, and sometimes paints freckles on her face. Well, not the case for Lopez. A BBC documentary that aired last year claimed minors were illegally selling content on the website, which it said had seen its users grow tenfold during the pandemic. Wow! Supply and demand, right? And I bet a lot more females were out there doing their thing during the pandemic, probably some males as well. It has 90 million subscribers and more than 1 million content creators. Interesting. A million. Only a million, though. I know that's still a lot of people, but wow. I mean, that seems like there'd be more. In April, the site's founder, Thomas Stokely, told BuzzFeed that half of its content creators were producing adult material. Only half? It seems to be a way to generate more secure income than other, more risky ways such as prostitution, said Sarabia. But effectively, they don't realize that once they've published content, they can lose control, that others can seize it. The BBC, in fact, highlighted the risks to a person's digital footprint should they use such websites. Already videos from OnlyFans have been found on platforms such as YouTube. Ready to leave. Brandon Mena, 20, had to put his education on hold because he couldn't afford his private university fees anymore. So this is a dude here. His income as a nightclub waiter dried up during the pandemic. I worked in restaurants, clubs, but the pandemic hit us hard in the wallet, and I had to look for other alternatives, said the softly spoken Mena. Dressed in a pair of jeans and a gray sweater, he looked very different to the content he provides to the OnlyFans site. Unlike Lopez, though, his OnlyFans count hasn't taken off. Venezuela is going to remain the same. I can't see myself staying. So for men, it's obviously different. I'd assume he's probably not straight. Just an assumption, because if you're a straight guy, if you put out that kind of content, I think you know who's going to consume it. There probably isn't a large market of females out there looking to pay dudes $10 a month to look at their junk. Just saying. But I will say, though, anything's possible. And desperate times, desperate measures, as they say. Job loss, Venezuela's issues highlighted above. I get why somebody would think they have to do that. I've been in situations myself where I've been dead broke. Now, obviously, that was a long time ago. And things like this weren't around back then because I'm as old as heck now. But I never had to do anything illegally. Not saying this is, obviously. I never had to do anything illegally. Never had to compromise myself in any kind of way. Living through a couple economic downturns, I was able to barely survive. So I've never been in a situation where it sounds like these individuals have in Venezuela or some of these other countries that aren't first world. And that's what I always talk about the difference between thinking you're poor in the United States and, oh, we have it so bad here, versus legitimate strife and pain that a lot of these countries see. We have it so good here, people don't realize that they can't even understand what it's like, what it's actually really like to struggle, to really be poor by world standards, third world standards, unless they've come from that environment to the United States seeking a better life. Where does that lead us? I definitely could see what OnlyFans is talking about how they would see 50% of people under 30. Obviously, they cite under 30. They talk about the wall being undefeated, hitting it at 30 for females. I can definitely see that. And when people see that it's easy money, as long as they can detach themselves from the morality of it or push the morality aside for money. Everybody has a price, as they say, right? This is the one thing in my cynical take on stuff, how I do it. When I hear stuff like this, and I hear about the kind of things they talk about 50% in 2030, the kind of money that some women can make on here. Granted, not everyone makes that kind of money. More people are probably like Valery, where they may have only a few subs and it's not really enough to sustain them. But there are some females out there that can make 4, 5, 6 figures a month to where they don't really have to have a real job in life. And hopefully for those individuals, they realize that being wise with your money and setting aside money for the future is something they really need to look at, because your looks aren't forever. All of you know that. I mean, I'm fading by the day, baby. But when I hear these things, this is what I don't want to hear about the patriarchy. And it's what I joked about in several of my videos already. When a woman tries to tell me that it's so bad for a woman, that it's so hard out there in the workforce, just remember this, ladies. You have a couple things that men don't have. And where there's a huge demand for those things you have and that thing down there, to where if you're willing to sell that or you're willing to show that and you look decent, there will be an endless supply of men that will put out their money for you. So just remember that. If you're broke and destitute like this guy Brandon versus Valery, an example was right there. Granted, it's just one. His OnlyFans hasn't taken off because there aren't women out there that want to see it. I would bet most of his subs are men. In her case, she has a sustainable living. So just remember what I say. If you think you have it so bad in the United States, oh, it's so horrible here. The patriarchy, they only pay me 77% on the dollar for what men get. Just remember, there's always stuff like this. When you're destitute, all you need is a webcam. And a man can't do that. That's female privilege right there. And that takes us down the road to the simps. Who are these guys that actually pay for this stuff? Ladies, if you're doing this cam stuff, ladies, if you got an OnlyFans or you got these Instagram simps out there, holler at me, leave a comment. Let me know, who are these simps? Who are these guys and how do they get their money? That's what I always wonder is, if you have this beta or simp mentality, how do you ever achieve anything in life? How do you ever get money? You couldn't imagine people that are so weak like that to give their money to others would ever be able to achieve anything in life and make a good income for themselves. That being said, ladies, like I said, if you got one, holler at me. I'd love to hear about it, get you on the channel, do an interview. All right, take care everybody, be well.